Animix is a vitamin and mineral premix company that specializes in water-soluble premixes. We service the calf industry, so milk replacer and veal. Our customers are throughout the U.S., Canada, Mexico. At this point, we're moving for export into the Asian countries.
My duties include all the financial information as well as a lot of IT, more IT than I thought I would have when I first took this job. After going with this system, we have a much easier way of printing out reports that they can take the inventory. We don't have very many adjustments anymore. We don't do it all at once. We can do it by bin location, which also has a lot numbers on it. So we now are getting a very accurate inventory with very little changes after the fact. By having the more accurate inventory, we are much better at production planning. So we know when we can get stuff done. We all get reports that will now tell us how fast we can get stuff done. Before it was pretty much a guess. But by having the accurate inventory, we know we have the inventory. We know when to order more inventory. We also know that when we ship something to a customer, we know what lot numbers we have. And it actually is faster for them to do it now on the shipping side than it was before. We chose Panatrac because they were very easy to get it installed with GP. They kind of work with GP very closely. And their database is something that I found very easy to work with. We can also do pivot tables with their database, so we can find out how certain mixers are running and who's running what, how much information is being put in by certain employees. So there's measurements we can use by employee if we need it. With the new software, especially with the PanaTracker software, we're using handheld devices to get the information into GP and vicinity. The process starts with receiving, and we use the device to actually receive it against a PO, and we actually print out labels at that point in time for every part that's coming in and every lot number. So we get the correct information on the pallet or on the bags that are coming in. After that, we could either sell it through the sales, but we could also use it in another product. So the raw material is then put into production, and we issue it with a handheld device into a batch. When it goes into the batch, everything will get put into a mixer to make that batch, and when it comes out, the handheld device is used again to create the production of the finished good. Then we will sell it, and we could sell raw material or finished goods, and when we sell it, we are using the handheld device again to bring up a sales order, and it'll tell us what is on that sales order, and we will go pick it from that, and using the handheld device, we will fulfill it. And it gets invoiced in the office, but everything is used the handheld device up until that point in time.
The flow from watching raw material by lot number go into a finished good by lot number or end up as a sale as that raw ingredient is extremely easy to track now that we are working with this software. We know exactly, I can open up one screen and I know exactly where everything has gone and what is still in our inventory. Real-time transaction is vital. We have certain ingredients here that we have to know at the minute what we have on the floor in inventory, where it is in production, and that is our medications, and that is required by the government and FDA. And so we have that now. Real quick, one report, I know exactly where everything is. Receiving, we've tightened up what can come in, and we know exactly what's supposed to be coming in and where it's coming in because it's all now tied to the computer software and the scanners. A big part of my job is working with our regulatory department here along with the FDA, as well as coordinate our HACCP, our hazard analysis plan that we have here in place at Animix. And having all of our information on the computer real time, our inventory is up to date, lot numbers can be traced and are being put in by our production staff, and then again lot numbers for our finished products are being entered. All of that information is extremely helpful when we're trying to meet the new regulatory standards that are being put in place.
We're probably at 98% shipping on time, and we're able to sustain that even with the increase in sales that we've had. So without this system, I don't think we would have been able to do it. But with the system, we are even ready for more growth.
If we hadn't made this change and we had continued how we were, with the way business has grown and the regulations that are in place, we no longer would be ahead of the 8 ball, or we would have had to increase our office staff tremendously. Because we're able to get sales reports quite easily, because we're able to do a recall in 4 hours, we're able to meet all of these new requirements as well as keep better track of Animix business by using this computer system.